Well, that's the one thing that, we either get labeled as like a Texas country band or a red dirt band or Texas music. And I love the Texas music thing more than anything because it really doesn't put me in a box anywhere. And I remember the exact day. I was 18 years old. It was probably a year after we put out our Ignition album, our first studio record. I had a whole different group of guys playing with me. I was 16, 17 when I recorded that record. It was my first songs I ever had. But there was about a 2-year period after that where I was gigging hardcore, doing 200 shows a year at being 17 and 18. And I started seeing all these other bands come around, these newer guys. And the one thing that I got from it was they were all trying to sound like a couple of these other bands. And I'm not going to lie, when I first started music, it was people like Cross Canadian Ragweed and guys that I got to actually see that came around my area where I lived. And so, of course, that rubbed off on me. I wanted to be like these guys because they're up there doing what my dream is to get up there and play, and they're already doing it. So I want to be like these guys. But by the time I hit 18, 19, I started realizing that there was about 50 other bands that are trying to do the same exact thing. And that's when it dawned on me. I was like, well, I have to stop this right now, and I have to take a turn and do something different. Because if not, then I may just be one of those bands that sounds like every other band, and I didn't want that. And that's kind of where I started to drift off into where we're going now, which is a little bit of rock, funk, hip-hop, soul. It's a little bit of all of that put together because I wanted to find my own sound. I wanted my record to come on the radio and somebody go, that's Johnny Cooper, or this kind of, instead of them going, this kind of sounds like blah, blah, blah. And that's when we came out with the Follow record, and that's really what changed the way I was going to approach my music from that point on is, Ragweed is Ragweed because they were the first ones. Pat Green is Pat Green because he was the first one to do it. And I plan on making Johnny Cooper being the first one of what we're trying to do. So that's where I'm at. And it's cool. I love being, the left side of things. It's great. And you run into more people that are trying to drift off and do stuff. And it's exciting to see other people try to push the envelope a little bit. And you only get one chance at this. You might as well see what all you can get away with.